Okay, kids, let's looking at the last subtopic of chapter 12, 12.3 temperature regulations. This is the learning outcomes to describe how the body maintains a constant body temperature, and you should be also to outline the role of hypothalamus in coordinating temperature regulations. Yeah, how does our body produce and gain heat? How to produce heat, how to gain heat. Yeah, how to produce heat. The heat produced is a result of metabolic activity in the body. Actually, in our body there is metabolism reactions. Yeah, what is metabolism? Metabolism consists of anabolism and catabolism. Is such as after eating, for example, fried rice, they're made of carbohydrates. The simple form of carbohydrates is glucose. The glucose will oxidize or broken down into carbohydrates and water. We will release carbon dioxide and water like during respirations. Yeah, we release the carbon dioxide gas during respirations and water via urine. And also release energy. The metabolic activity also produce heat. And then the second way to produce heat by increase the muscular exercise. Yeah, we can check our body temperatures will increase after we done the muscular exercise. And how our body can gain heat. Number 3 is chemical reaction in the liver. Yeah, from our previous lessons, we already know that liver helps to change it's like glucose into glycogens by the presence of insulin. Yeah, and also to change glycogen into glucose by the presence of glucagon. This process also produce heat. These reactions also produce heat. And how to gain heat? Yeah, by the consumption of hot food and drinks. Yeah, also increase our body temperature. And during sunbathing, also our body can absorb the heat from sunlight. And how does our body lose heat? Yeah, our body can lose heat via convections, radiation, and conductions. Yeah, you will learn more about the convection, radiation, and conductions in physics subject. This is convections, radiations, and conductions. Is a transfer of heat. And then the second way to lose heat is by evaporation of sweat. The sweat gland will produce sweat, and then the sweat will go to the sweat duct, and then the sweat will evaporate to the sweat pore on the surface of our skin. Next, feces and urines. Yeah, urines also consists of water. The water also can distribute heat. The feces and urine also can distribute heat. And also with the air that is exhaled, like carbon dioxide. And by removal of clothing. Yeah, why do we need to regulate or to keep our body temperature constant? Yeah, because in our body, so many reactions like metabolism, catabolism reactions, and anabolism reactions. All of the reactions need enzyme. The function of enzymes as a catalyst to speed up the reactions, to speed up the rate to produce the product during the reactions. Yeah, we can see it from the graph. This is low temperature and this is high temperature. When the temperature is low, yeah, what happens with the enzymatic activity? The enzymatic activity also low. And same as when the temperature is high, the enzymatic activity also low. And there is one optimum temperature when the enzymatic activity also optimum. This one. Actually, our body have the optimum temperature is around 37 degrees Celsius. And so how when we get a fever, yeah, it means also affect the work of our enzyme in our body. When the temperature increase, the enzyme will denature. It's same as an egg. After we, it's like when we make fried egg. Actually, egg made from proteins. The proteins of egg will denature. And what happens when the temperature decrease? The metabolism or metabolism reactions or metabolism reactions, the rate of metabolism reactions slow down and also can affect our brain. Temperature regulation, also known as the thermoregulation. Temperatures, thermoregulations. This is the optimum temperature is around 37 degrees Celsius. Thermoregulation is the way to keep a constant of our body temperature or steady body temperature. And humans is warm-blooded, also known as the warm-blooded, that they can keep their body temperature by themselves. Human. How the human can keep constant their body temperature? By homeostasis. Yeah, temperature regulation center that can keep the temperature constant in our body. Yeah, there are two types of temperature regulation center. In the skin, the thermoreceptor in the skin is also known as the free nerves ending. This one, free nerves ending, that can detect any change of temperature from environment or surrounding. And then the temperature regulation center in our brain is hypothalamus. If the free nerves ending can detect change from the environment temperature, the hypothalamus can detect change any change temperature in our blood. Why? Because the blood consists of blood plasma. Blood plasma. What is blood plasma? The blood plasma, 90% of blood plasma consists of water. Mm. So the another function of blood plasma also to distribute heat around our body. So the hypothalamus can check any change of temperature in our blood. Because another function of one constituent of blood is blood plasma is to distribute heat. Yeah, what happens when the human body temperature begins to rise, or we can say it in a hot days? There are around 4 mechanisms. The first mechanism is vasodilations, increased production of sweat, relaxation of hair erector muscles, and also by reduced metabolic rate. Let's discuss about vasodilations. We have learned vasodilation, right, from previous lessons. The vasodilation shows the functions of blood vessels to keep our body temperature constant. Blood vessel. Vasodilations. What happened with the arterioles? These arterioles, there is this one arteriole. The arteriole dilate. It means the diameter of arteriole increase. After the diameter of arteriole increase, it means the flow of blood also increase from arteriole into the blood capillaries. The position of blood capillaries is under of our skin surface. And then remember the function of blood plasma also to distribute heat around our body. This means more blood flow also means more heat will flow into the blood capillaries. It's under the surface of our skin. It means greater heat loss. And what happened with the sun vessels? This one is sun vessels. The condition of sun vessel is opposite condition with the arteriole. When the arteriole dilates, it means the sun vessels constrict. Constrict, yeah, also let the more blood to flow through the to the blood capillaries. And then during hot days, yeah, more sweat will produce. Yeah, why? Because the sweat glands more active during hot days. Sweat gland will secrete sweat. Where does sweat come from? Actually, the sweat come from our blood. From the blood plasma that consists of 90% of water. So the sweat that consists of water and also mineral salts will go to the sweat duct and then evaporate through sweat pore. The sweat duct, the sweat pore. After reach our surface, the surface of our skins, the sweat will evaporate. This means also more heat will lose from our body. And what happened to the hair our hair? In hot days, yeah, our hair erector muscles, hair erector pili muscles relax. Effect our hair to lie flat. And then what happens next when our hair lie flat? It means more air will circulate. More air will circulate over over the surface of our skin. It means more heat will be lost from our body. And how about the metabolic rate? In hot days, the metabolic activity slow down. The metabolic activity slow down means less heat produced within body. Yeah, this is the mechanism of homeostasis on hot days. The optimum temperature is around 37 degrees Celsius. The stimulus is when the condition increase. It's made the temperature in skin increase, the temperature of blood, and also the temperature in our skin. And then the receptor will receive any change from stimulus. The receptor is skin and brain, and then the nerves ending will send the signal into our brain, the hypothalamus, to give the corrective mechanism, to give to ask our arteriole to dilate, to ask our sweat gland to produce more sweat, and then the metabolic decrease. So it means the conditions will be decreased, the temperature decrease and go back into the normal conditions. And what happens when the human body temperature begins to fall, or in cold day? This is vasoconstriction. We can compare it with the vasodilations. During vasodilation, the arteriole dilate. Is the opposite conditions. Arterioles during vasoconstriction is constrict. Constrict. This means the diameter of arterioles decrease, so less blood will flow to the blood capillaries. It means the less heat loss from our body. Then the sun vessel is opposite with the arteriole. When the arteriole constrict, it means the sun vessel dilates. Dilates, so more blood flow through the sun vessels. And then the heat will go back into the core of our body to keep the temperature constant during cold day. And then decreased production of sweat. The sweat glands less active during cold day. It means less sweat produced. And what happened with the hair erector muscles? The hair erector muscles contract. This is opposite condition with the during hot days. The hair erector muscles relax, contracts, affect our hair to stand upright. This means we will trap the warm air over the surface of our skin. It will trap the warm air to keep the temperature. And how about the metabolic rate? The metabolic rate increase. More heat will produce, and also during cold day, is shivering. This is the role of muscles. Role of our muscles. Because more vigorous activity, from our second slide, we know, because muscular activity produce heat. muscular activity produce it. Shivering is a kind of the muscular activity that can produce it. So we can keep our body temperature constant. This is the mechanism of homeostasis, also known as the negative feedback. The normal temperature is around 37 degrees Celsius. The stimulus is temperature decrease in our blood and skin, and then any change of temperature, the decrease of temperature detected by the skin and brain. The hypothalamus will send signal, the nerves ending will send signal into our brain. The hypothalamus also asks the arteriole to constrict. And then the sweat glands less active, metabolic rate increase and shivering. So the effect is our body temperature increase and go back into normal conditions.